There is a quiet exhaustion most of us carry and rarely name, the feeling of always running, always reaching for the next thing, certain that when we finally arrive, we will rest, we will live, we will be happy. But the finish line keeps moving, and somewhere along the way, a frightening thought settles in that we are spending our one life waiting for it to begin. 400 years ago, a man felt exactly this. His name was Michel de Montaigne. On his 38th birthday, he walked away from a life most people were clawing to reach. He had watched the important men around him chase honors for decades, only to find each success faded the moment they touched it, leaving only the hunger for the next. He saw they had forgotten how to simply live, and he decided he would not make the same trade. He had no secret. He only remembered something we have all forgotten. Montaigne said, "Every one of us needs a room behind the shop." Picture a shopkeeper at the counter all day, serving, selling, solving. If he never leaves it, he begins to believe the shop is all he is, and so do we. We reach for the glowing screen before we have even left the warmth of the bed. We live our whole lives at the front counter. You do not need a stone tower to have a room behind the shop. It is not a place. It is a pocket of time that belongs to no one but you. A walk with no destination, a single breath taken slowly, where you are no one's employee, no one's parent, just you, breathing. When I dance, I dance. When I sleep, I sleep. We are told safety is always one more step away. One more raise, one more zero on the screen. When Montaigne inherited a fortune, he thought he would finally feel free. Instead, he became its prisoner, hiding his coins, lying awake, guarding a pile of metal. He saw that hoarding had cost him more peace than being poor ever did, so he stopped counting. Money is worth nothing, he understood, until it buys back your time and your peace. So ask yourself, gently, what is enough? Not endless, not more, just enough. And when you have it, set down the calculator and pick up your life. While the great thinkers of his age wrote heavy books about man as the center of all things, Montaigne sat on the floor, playing with his cat. To her, his titles and his fortune meant nothing. He was simply a warm creature in the room. We manufacture so much of our own suffering by taking ourselves so seriously. So when your mind races at 2 a.m, ask it one quiet question. Will this matter in a year? Then go outside, look up, let the size of the sky remind you kindly that you are small and that this is not a burden. It sounds simple. It is the hardest thing in the world, because we are rarely where our bodies are. We wash the dishes while planning the argument. We drink the coffee without ever tasting it. True luxury is not a distant shore you are saving for. It is the ability to be fully present for the life you already have. Above everything, Montaigne treasured one soul-deep friendship. Asked why the bond was so unbreakable, he gave no reasons. Because it was he, because it was I. We spent so much time networking and so little time connecting, trading titles instead of truths. Somewhere there are a few people who could know the real you. Put down the performance. Say the thing that is actually keeping you up at night. A handful of people who love you as you are is not a consolation prize in the race. And at the end of it all, there is this. Thrown from a horse and left for dead, Montaigne drifted toward death and found, to his surprise, that it was gentle, like slipping into sleep. He had spent years afraid of it and realized he had it backward. Nature will handle the dying. The only thing you must figure out is the living. I want death to find me planting my cabbages, careless of death, and still more of my unfinished garden. Because the whole race rests on one lie: that you will live later, that your real life is waiting past the next milestone. But later is a gamble. It always was. So gently tonight, let something go. The finish line that keeps moving, the number that is never enough, the person you keep performing. You do not have to win the race. You are allowed to step off the track and feel the ground beneath your feet. Because the life you have been rushing toward is the one you are standing in. It is here. It is now. It is this breath and the quiet after it. Come home to it. You already arrived.